Chapter 21, Long Lost Brother. Hyun-ki was sizing attorney Andrew from his word of finishing his work and left quietly after that. Now, it's okay with me if you have nothing more to say and don't feel like asking for an apology, Hyun-ki remarked as his final word and walked to leave. Finally, Andrew apologized and promised not to do something that would jeopardize Hyun-ki's relationship with his dad's legal firm. Andrew reached out his hand to Hyun-ki for a handshake. Hyun-ki accepted and then left without a word. Andrew was left alone at the deck and thought he could not just avoid Riel. He felt that Riel stirred his heart and that he could not set aside or put away just because his rival was a CEO. Unknowingly, he thought Riel was still free, with no attachment to Hyun-ki, that she was just his EA. He felt he could stand a chance to pursue his feelings for Riel. He was determined to go after her. Hyun-ki became light as a feather when he returned to his office, thinking he had already resolved the dissonance between him and attorney Andrew. Hyun-ki was satisfied with the outcome of his conversation with Andrew. He was sitting lazily on his chair when his telephone rang. His sister, Soo-mi, was at the end of the line, cheering excitedly about her news. Hyung? Mom and Dad are coming back. They have good news to tell us. Hyun-ki was surprised by the sudden coming of his parents. When are they coming? Have you instructed the maids to have a general cleaning? Tell our cook Linda to prepare and text the grocery list, and I'll have them on my way home. Okay. And by the way, when are they coming? And why am I not informed? He asked with a disappointed tone. Maybe Dad wants to surprise you, Hyung, Soo-mi replied defensively. Hyun-ki reflected on the real reason his parents were coming, especially knowing his dad could not just leave his post in the head office. Just as he was contemplating on his dad, Kwon Nam-jun, his cousin, the VP for marketing, appeared in his office in a panic. Cousin, why didn't you inform me that we will have a new VP for marketing replacing me? He asked with dismay. Hyun-ki was jolted out of his seat. What? What did you say? I didn't do that. I don't know anything about that, Nam-jun. And where on earth did you get that information that not even I know about? Both are puzzled by the sudden turn of events. I'll get to the bottom of this, tapped Nam-jun's shoulder, assuring him he'll get the answers behind this shocking news. So, Hyun-ki, puzzled as ever, thought that there must be something important or urgent that his dad had to leave the head office and immediately remove his cousin from his post as VP for marketing. He called upon Riel and instructed her to call for an urgent meeting of all the officers in the afternoon to discuss the sad news and find ways to offset his dad's decision with the hope of finding a better action. Riel and her staff are busy preparing the conference room where the meeting is to be held, and all the secretaries for the vice presidents of the corporation are already curious about the sudden news of Kwon Nam-jun's removal from his office. They felt that something was going on that they knew nothing about. Later that day, at 3 p.m. all the VPs are presently squabbling about this urgent meeting. The VP for marketing was quiet and uneasy because he was heavily disturbed by his sudden removal. Everyone was surprised, and the VP of finance commented on something that all agreed to be true. Remember when Mr. Han Myung, Hyun-ki's father, replaced Mr. Park Shin for Hyun-ki? Without announcement, this could be his dad's doing again. But the thing is, we do not have a single idea who will take the place of Nam-jun. Everyone was quietly considering this moment. Hyun-ki broke their silence. Maybe that's the reason why the chairman is coming back. All the VPs are shocked, and not everyone is happy, knowing Hyun-ki's dad. We have to prepare, and I'm still waiting for the confirmation of the day and time of his coming. This was only relayed to me this morning by my sister, Soo-mi, and not even I was directly informed about this, Hyun-ki explained. Then turned his attention to Nam-jun. Better prepare for the turnover, and who knows, you might be given a better position back in Korea, Hyun-ki said in comforting words. Everyone returned to their posts, failing to settle the problem. They decided to talk this over with the chairman's unjustified removal of Nam-jun as soon as he appeared before them. Hyun-ki reflected on his dad's sudden decision. Bothered by his dad's coming and the mystery of Nam-jun's immediate replacement, he felt dark clouds looming over them. Riel found Hyun-ki absorbed in his thoughts. Is something troubling you, love? Hyun-ki was roused from his deep thoughts when he heard Riel call him love. He felt delighted and in high spirits just having Riel beside him. Let us shop for some groceries for my parents' arrival. He took her by the hand but loosened his clutch as they went out by the door. Hyun-ki smiled, amused by how Riel could quickly act on impulse like an alarm clock ringing as a reminder. Junie, the driver, stood by the car, and as they came near him, Junie smiled with an edgy look, scratched the back of his head, and said, "Sir, Your parents are already at home waiting for you. Your mom took the grocery list and went shopping this afternoon with Miss Sumi and Linda, and now she asked me to fetch you. Hyun-ki stared at Riel for a little longer, thinking. Riel quickly spoke. It's all right, Hyun. I'll be just fine. You should be excited about coming home. Imagine you've never seen them for a long time. It is just right that you be with them. Okay, love. She gently rubbed Hyun-ki's hands, assuring him she was okay. Hyun-ki hugged Riel, kissed her head, and said, No, you're more important to me and your safety. We'll bring you home first. My family can wait, he stressed. The two lovers were holding hands, not wanting to loosen up as they were standing by the car, waiting for the gate of Rieler's house to open. It was Zia who opened for them. Well, what a pleasant surprise. It's Riel with Hyun-ki. Come in, bro, come in, Zia remarked cheerfully. I'm sorry, but I just have to bring Riel home, Riel chimed in simultaneously. He has a critical engagement to attend to, and he's coming late now because of me. Riel and Hyun-ki agreeably nodded. Whilst in the car, Junie spoke. Sir, your mom asked many questions about whom you're dating. When were you home every night? And if you are going out on weekends? I said I can't tell much and told her that you always work late. Sometimes you like driving alone. And my rest days are during the weekends, so I can't tell much about you, sir. Hyun-ki was elated at Junie's response to his mother's questions and praised him for being careful. When he came into the living room, everyone was waiting for him. His dad was all smiles, standing beside his mom and Sumi a little further away from their guest, whose hands were folded and covering their mouth, showing him a dampened smile and a guess-who look, making him think whom this man was seated on the armchair, his back against Hyun-ki's side. Feeling slightly uneasy about who this person could be, he walked briskly in front of the guest and was amazed to see the man making a wistful smile. Hyun-ki had never been as surprised as he was at this moment, seeing his brother for the first time in a long while, since his extended stay in South Korea. They embraced and hugged, showing how much they missed each other. Hwan-chul, Nam Dong-sing, my younger brother, cried Hyun-ki in joy and excitement. Hyung, Hwan-chul called him his older brother, almost in tears. I've missed you so much. How are you now? Hwan, since when did you came out of your unconsciousness? Why are you all keeping things from me? Turning his last question to his mom. It was your brother's liking because he wanted to surprise you once he's back here. His mom sing-song. Yes, Hyung, I wanted to give you and Sumi the shock of your lives, laughing out loud. I've gone through much healing, speech therapy, physical therapy, and psychological therapy. I thought I wouldn't make it. I thought of giving up. But every time the thought of my girlfriend comes to mind, I fight for her, Hwan-chul narrated. That's good. Hwan, you did well fighting. He pulled his elbows downwards with clenched fists as encouragement. Hwan-chul was Hyun-ki's younger brother, older than Sumi. Hyun-ki and Hwan-chul treat each other as more than best friends. Both confide in each other and help each other with whatever problem needs to be resolved. Hyun-ki recalled Hwan-chul as an adventurous and determined brother. He was willing to take risks and try new things, which was why he was into sports. He was passionate about whatever came to his mind. And looking at his brother, Hwan-chul was also good-looking and had killer dimples. It was said that every time he smiled, girls became attracted to him, which made him a popular guy in high school and college. Not only was he known by his killer dimples, but he was also a varsity player. He was athletic, which made him stunning. He had broad shoulders, a ripped, buff, muscular body, and was tall. He also had a husky voice and was a good singer too. But so much had changed in him after his fatal accident, and Hyun-ki wanted to see him come back to his former nature. After dinner, both brothers wanted to stay awake longer to catch up. Hyun-ki wanted to know the facts of his fatal accident. Hwan-chul was in tears now, recalling the incident that nearly killed him. He stared at Hyun-ki, then switched his glance down, his hands covering his face, feeling burdened with much pain, and regretted remembering that scene. What could have happened to Hwan-chul all this time? After getting back to his consciousness, why was he still in grief and suffering so much pain?